Hello, everybody. Jonathan Poley here with West Coast Weather. Today is March 22nd. Happy spring, everybody. And it is as if the weather knows it is spring. We're going to get a couple of very warm days here after we go through an atmospheric river that's starting up and starting to hit southwest British Columbia and northern Washington. That's starting right about now as I make this video, and it's going to last through Sunday. And then the main thing we're going to talk about in this video is the potential for widespread thunderstorms on Wednesday as a strong storm system forms off the coast and brings some moist, warm air over the region, allowing for the potential for widespread thunderstorms and maybe even an outbreak of thunderstorms across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. So let's get right into things. Looking at the zoomed out look at things. Here's British Columbia, Washington, Oregon, California. Here, this is looking at general ridge and trough positions. Ridges of high pressure are in red, and troughs are in blue. And by the way, before we go dive into things, my webcam is for some reason not working again. So even though I got a new brand and everything, so I might just need to up my budget on the webcam to actually get one that actually survives making these videos. But thankfully, my audio and my mic still work. So anyways, so we get this ridge that starts building in starting tomorrow, but we're kind of got this trough just to the north, and this ridge isn't strong enough initially to keep from a plume of moisture cutting underneath it. And that's what's going to that's what's going to be happening over the next day or so, and I'll show you guys here in a moment. And then the ridge finally really builds in. This is a pretty strong ridge of high pressure. It's going to bring nearly record-breaking high temperatures for this time of the year. We'll get some widespread 70s, even on the west side of the Cascades, and even Portland may get into the mid-70s. So very warm for this time of the year and near record-breaking for some places. And then watch this trough that's over the Gulf of Alaska. This thing kind of like what we call it ejects off to the north. It's basically when a trough reaches maturity and then it gets flung off into like north to the northeast. And this is this turns into what we call a negatively tilted trough. So it takes on a negative tilt. And what this does is this allows all the energy from the system to get pushed into the front of it, basically. And then that allows moisture and strong wind dynamics to overflow each other. And this is going to happen almost a perfect timing on Wednesday, the 26th. And this is going to allow for thunderstorm development and precipitation, lightning, all that sorts of stuff as well. So this storm moves. The main storm actually goes off the coast, but it's going to bring some breezy conditions as well. And then we kind of have this trough after we go towards Thursday and Friday. This trough kind of just weakens, and then we get continuous troughing activity off the coast. Even this looks like a strong cyclone on this European mall from this morning, but it's too far out. But malls are hinting at lots of troughing. Like this is going to be a pretty active spring pattern coming up. And then there's going to be potential for more storms as we go through the 10-day time frame as well. So plenty the look at as we go. So now looking at temperature anomaly in Fahrenheit. So this is basically just showing how cold or how warm temperatures are compared to normal. As we go through the next couple days, look at how all these reds, we start getting much above average temperatures. This is going to Monday, and then the real warm day is Tuesday. Look at these. Some of these values in the mountains are approaching 20 to 25 degrees above average. You can see Seattle and Portland approaching 15 to 20 degrees above average on Tuesday. And again, on Wednesday, this is going to be when our thunderstorms, this warm temperatures at the surface is going to allow for a lot of energy for thunderstorms as well. As you guys probably know, out east in the plains in the southeastern United States, they get all this warm, moist air that causes thunderstorms throughout the summertime. So this is going to be kind of the same thing. We're going to get this warm weather ahead of time, and then as that trough comes in and brings in the moisture, it's going to allow for thunderstorms to ignite and stuff like that. So, but then as we go through Thursday, look at this. Blue starts showing up. We got a cold front that moves through after the thunderstorms move through and we cool down. So it's just going to be two really nice warm days, and then potential for thunderstorms on that second warm day as well. So now looking at 6-hour precipitation type in inches, and then sea level pressure. So let's go. This is about right this evening as I'm uploading this video. You can see this. Look at this is going to be about a Category 3 atmospheric river on the atmospheric river scale. Basically, that scale just measures how much moisture there is in the moisture plume and how long that it lasts for. So this atmospheric river is going to last for almost 2 days, and it's going to have a pretty decent amount of moisture with it. So it's going to be rated about Category 3. It's not to scare you or anything, but it's just a descriptive term us weather people like to use for what you would call a rainstorm or something like that. There's going to be a lot of rain shadowing. Even though the European model doesn't show it, there's going to be a lot of rain shadowing over places like Whidbey Island and the Puget Sound as well. There's going to be a lot drier amounts of precipitation. But some of the mountains, though, of the Olympics, North Cascades, and Vancouver Island could get up towards 4 to 8 inches, and maybe some localized areas up towards 10 to 12 inches as well. So there's going to be some flooding concerns. There's already some flood watches and warnings up for some of the area rivers. So please heed those warnings if you're near any flood-prone areas as we go through the next couple days. So this atmospheric river kind of sits around and then starts weakening, but it continues all the way in the Monday evening. And then we kind of get another surge of moisture, which may keep some clouds around on Tuesday, but most of that looks to clear up by Tuesday afternoon. So even allowing for parts of Vancouver, BC to get some sun and warm temperatures on Tuesday. Then look at this. So this is now going in the Wednesday morning. Look how you see all these the precipitation, how it's kind of little like splotches. It kind of looks a little bubbly. That's kind of instead of like a giant wall of precipitation like with an atmospheric river. This denotes convection, and usually convection is showers and potentially thunderstorms like we're going to have on this day potentially. There's disagreement on how much activity there is going to be and how much thunderstorm juice, but look at this. This looks, to me, there's a lot of instability Wednesday afternoon, and all this precipitation that starts moving up is this really deep low pressure. This is the 981 millibar low. It's also a very large low pressure system, isn't it? Like a small compact. There's a lot of energy with this thing. So this will allow thunderstorms to ignite as that those strong winds up above us, way up in the atmosphere, overlap that moisture, and that causes thunderstorms to pop up and stuff. So this is going to be really interesting to watch over the next few days, and this could be potentially a pretty prolific lightning maker. This is kind of a historical pattern that brings us some of our big lightning shows. Even parts of Southwest British Columbia will potentially get on the action as well, but better chances in Washington and Western Oregon. And then some of that activity will move in the Eastern Washington late Wednesday and then in the Thursday afternoon as well. Then there's going to be showers and maybe a couple isolated thunderstorms as we go through later Thursday and the Friday, but the main thunderstorm show looks and potential is going to be on Wednesday morning. We may even get a couple rounds of it. So this is going to be pretty exciting for those that like thunderstorms. Then as we go through this trough just kind of sits off the West Coast. We don't really get like a full dry break until maybe Saturday of next weekend. But then that's only short-lived because we have systems moving in by just Sunday evening of the next day. So there's potentially be lots of activity. Look at the strong storm off the coast, 973 millibar low. This is going out towards 11 days in the future, so there's no merit to this at all, but just shows that we have the potential for even more active weather as we go through the long range time frame. So now looking at the Pacific Northwest Washington and Oregon, this is looking at wind gusts and miles per hour. This atmospheric river is going to bring some blustery winds tomorrow, Sunday, to the area. Generally only gusts maybe 25 to 40 miles per hour for most areas. Strongest winds up towards southern Whidbey Island, the Everett area, maybe the Kitsap Peninsula as well. Blustery winds end by most of the strongest winds end by Monday morning. So now let's look at lightning flash density. This is what you thunderstorm lovers are going to like this. So you can see nothing. Atmospheric rivers don't usually have a lot of stable air with them. That's not good for thunderstorms. But watch as we go in the Wednesday. Boom! Look at this. That right as that moisture and all the instability starts happening. Look at this. These are 6-hour increments that I'm doing. Look at this. This is like around 11 a.m. on Wednesday where we got thunderstorms coming out. This is another 6 hours. This goes through the entire afternoon until 5 p.m. Look at this. This is going all the way till 11 p.m. on Wednesday night. And we still got thunderstorms all the way from Southwest BC over Vancouver down to the Washington Oregon borderline. Look at this. And then even Eastern Washington continuing all the way maybe till 5 a.m. on Thursday. So this could be a decently long lasting event with multiple rounds. So there's still, this is not like 100% certain, but it's pretty certain that we're probably going to see at least some sort of thunderstorms. How much we get, how many rounds is still in question. There's even the potential for severe thunderstorms, potential for some strong, potentially damaging winds for some areas. There's gonna be a lot of lightning. There's even an isolated tornado chance, but it's really not gonna be. That's not gonna be the main threat as well. And there's definitely gonna be hail potential as well. So that's really interesting. And then as we go into Thursday, there's potential for more out, mainly maybe just scattered around the area, but it's not gonna be like anything like Wednesday. And now let's look at CAPE. This is Convective Available Potential Energy. That's just a fancy acronym for thunderstorm juice. So let's go on Tuesday. This is the day before the thunderstorm event. Look at all this. This is when you start getting the yellows and greens out here on the West Coast, that's getting kind of serious. And you can see that this is already starting to bubble up before our storm system actually comes in. So that's already kind of keeping the space up. So look at this. This is when the thunderstorms start forming. We already got all this thunderstorm juice already ready to go. And we're starting to get some greens up in the Western Washington, which is kind of uncommon for any time of the year, let alone March. So that is very exciting. There's going to be plenty of thunderstorm juice. I even see a little bit of yellow. That's pretty extreme, especially for March. So this could be it looks like it's going to be a potentially very unusual event for this time of the year. And you can see this goes all the way in the Southwest BC. Potential for some lingering thunderstorm juice even as we go into late evening as well. Now let's look at the K index. I haven't really shown this in my videos much, but the K index is basically a measurement of moisture and lift in the atmosphere. It's another way of measuring thunderstorm potential. So if we go into Wednesday as well, look at how these colors spark up of one round on Wednesday morning. But then look at again Thursday afternoon. Here, Thursday afternoon is the main round. Look at this. You can see all the way from Oregon all the way up to Southwest BC. When you start getting the yellows and oranges, that's pretty good for thunderstorms around here. So very interesting. It looks like there's going to be a lot of ingredients in place for thunderstorms on Wednesday. So please keep an eye on the skies on that day, and I'll try to have another video out before then. But this is looking pretty certain. So if I can't get a video out before then, there's definitely just keep the eye on the sky anyways, because this is we're looking pretty certain for at least somebody across Washington, Oregon, Southwest British Columbia on Wednesday, even though this is still a few days out. So now let's zoom out a bit. Here's Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii is down here. This is looking at the Northeast Pacific Ocean. This is looking at the jet stream at 18,000 feet in the air. So you can see this. So we got this ridge of high pressure. It's kind of like this dome that's building up, and the jet stream gets pushed to the north. But so as we go through Sunday and the Monday and the Tuesday, look at this dome of high pressure that builds up all the way over in the British Columbia on Tuesday, bringing that warm air. But look at this really strong trough. Look at this jet stream with winds well over 120, 140 miles per hour up there at 18,000 feet in the air. Look at this. Look how it goes right in the Washington, Oregon, perfectly on Wednesday afternoon. So this is going to happen right as the sun is the strongest in the afternoon. So this is a very nicely timed trough. So that will also aid. And look at how there's going to be divergence as well. Notice how the arrows kind of go off to the right on this side, and then go off to the left on this side. So this creates a vacuum, and where the air gets displaced, the air from the ground has to rise up to fill that vacuum, that empty space. So that causes more rising motion as well, on top of the thunderstorm juice helping at the surface as well. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming together, and this is kind of a perfect setup for widespread thunderstorm activity for here in the Pacific Northwest. So very exciting stuff. And looking at the 2-meter temperature on the national blended malls, so you can see high temperatures tomorrow will be in the 50s across Western Washington, maybe some low 60s for parts of the Willamette Valley, and some 60s in the Columbia Basin, and 70s and 80s down there in California. But look, as we go into Monday, we start warming up, getting some 70s in the Willamette Valley and Eastern Washington, approaching some 60s in Western Washington, still staying closer to that like 12 to 15 Celsius mark up there in Vancouver. And look at on Tuesday, look at this. We're getting up towards 70 in the Puget Sound. Look at the mid 70s, 74 degrees at Portland, mid 70s in Eastern Washington, getting into the 80s in California, a lot of the Sacramento Valley of California. Look at, and then again on Wednesday as well, mid 60s Eastern Washington. We maybe cool down a bit, but I've noticed some malls are showing even warmer temperatures than this on Wednesday. Some malls have even showed the potential for some mid 70s up towards Seattle on Wednesday even, which it would start that's going to start breaking some daily record highs as well. You can see you're going to be approaching up towards 15 to 19 Celsius up there towards Vancouver as well. You're going to have cooler temperatures right along the water, so places closer to the mountains will have the warmest temperatures during this. But then look at Thursday. The cold front goes through, and it's like it never happened. Highs in the low to middle 50s on the west side, and low highs in the low to middle 60s on the east side. So pretty wild temperature swings, and we'll continue that with cooler temperatures and closer to the seasonal as we go through towards the end of March. So now looking at the Climate Prediction Center, this is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, March 28th through April 1st. This is after our warmth. We're going to get down back towards about normal, but we're going to keep up those potential for multiple storm systems, precipitation, and they're going to be hitting California pretty well as well. So that's going to be lots to look at there as well. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. This is looking at March 30th to April 5th, getting into April now. And you can see starting to favor the chances for below average temperatures on the West Coast as we get those troughs of low pressure, as I showed you guys that the models are hinting at that far out. And you can see above a very strong signal for above average precipitation. So even with troughs, we can sometimes have a near normal temperatures. But when you start getting atmospheric rivers and all that sort of stuff, you really start getting that above average precipitation. So anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I don't have a webcam up. I know it kind of feels a bit robotic not having me actually talking. I'll try to figure that out and maybe try to find a better webcam that's not going to fail on me after only like a month of using it. So anyways, take care, God bless, and stay safe with the thunderstorms on Wednesday, and I'll talk to everybody in the next forecast video.